Waterfalls have a way of drawing us in. They are nature's masterpieces, cascading from unimaginable heights, tumbling over cliffs, shaping landscapes for thousands of years. They captivate us with their beauty, but beneath the mesmerizing display lies a force as unforgiving as it is breathtaking. Some waterfalls are not just dangerous, they are deadly. Over the years, they have claimed thousands of lives, swallowing victims whole in their relentless currents. Their names are whispered with reverence, their stories filled with tragedy. Today we journey to 5 of the most dangerous waterfalls on Earth, where one wrong step could mean the difference between life and death. The deafening roar of Niagara Falls can be heard long before you see it. Straddling the border of the United States and Canada, this colossal wonder is the most famous waterfall in the world. But behind its stunning beauty lies a tragic history, one written in the names of thousands who have perished in its unforgiving grasp. Every second, 700,000 gallons of water plunge over Niagara's 3 mighty falls, creating currents so powerful that survival is nearly impossible. The plunge itself is over 167 feet, a drop that has shattered bones, crushed bodies, and drowned countless victims. Since the 1800s, more than 5,000 bodies have been recovered from the churning waters below. Many of these deaths were suicides, but others were the result of tragic accidents. In 2019, a man was seen climbing over the safety barrier at Horseshoe Falls. Within moments, he was gone, swept away by the current. Miraculously, he survived, pulled from the waters at the base with severe injuries, but not everyone is so lucky. The statistics are chilling. Each year, between 20 to 30 people meet their end here. Then there are the daredevils, the ones who believe they can cheat death. The most famous was Annie Edson Taylor, a 63-year-old schoolteacher who, in 1901, climbed into a wooden barrel and hurled herself over the edge. She survived with only minor injuries, but many who followed in her footsteps were not so fortunate. Of the 16 recorded stunts, only 11 people lived to tell the tale. Niagara Falls is both a spectacle and a graveyard, a place where thrill-seekers and the unfortunate alike have met their fate. The locals call it Mosi Oatunya, the smoke that thunders. Victoria Falls, straddling the border of Zambia and Zimbabwe, is one of the largest waterfalls on Earth. At a staggering 354 feet high and 5,600 feet wide, it is not just a waterfall, it is an abyss. Unlike Niagara, Victoria Falls has no railings, no safety nets. The cliffs drop off with sheer vertical precision, and one misstep can send a person plummeting into the violent gorge below. Every year, tourists inch closer and closer to the edge for the perfect photograph. Some never make it back. In 2021, a 40-year-old man from Zimbabwe fell to his death from Danger Point, one of the most perilous viewpoints. Witnesses say he was posing for a photo when he lost his footing. His body was found hundreds of feet below, shattered on the rocks. But the most infamous part of Victoria Falls is Devil's Pool, a naturally occurring rock pool that forms at the very edge of the waterfall during the dry season. Tourists flock here, swimming just inches from the abyss, held back only by a narrow underwater ledge. One wrong move, one unexpected surge, and they would be swept over the edge. Amazingly, no tourist has ever died at Devil's Pool, at least not officially. However, in 2009, a tour guide lost his life while trying to save a visitor. He pulled the tourist to safety, but the current took him instead. His body was never recovered. Victoria Falls is a place of unparalleled beauty, but it is also one of nature's most dangerous playgrounds, and those who take it lightly often pay the ultimate price. Nestled between Argentina and Brazil, Iguazu Falls is the largest waterfall system in the world, a staggering 275 waterfalls spanning nearly 2.7 kilometers. The sheer volume of water is mind-boggling. At peak flow, Iguazu doubles the water volume of Niagara, and it is merciless. In 2011, tragedy struck when an inflatable tour boat was swept too close to the falls. The boat capsized and 2 American tourists were thrown into the violent waters. They never resurfaced. In 2022, a 60-year-old Canadian tourist climbed over the safety rail at the Devil's Throat viewpoint to take a selfie. Moments later, he disappeared into the abyss. His body was found days later, battered by the relentless force of the falls. The currents at Iguazu are unpredictable. Water levels can rise suddenly, and those who underestimate its power often don't get a second chance. Even experienced swimmers are helpless against its fury. Japan's Kigon Falls is not just dangerous, it is infamous. Towering at 318 feet, it is one of the most beautiful waterfalls in Asia. But for over a century, it has been known as the Suicide Waterfall. In 1903, Misao Fujimura, an 18-year-old student, carved his farewell poem into a tree before throwing himself into the abyss. His story became legend, and soon others followed. In the decades that followed, more than 200 people leapt from Kigon's cliffs, turning it into one of the most notorious suicide spots in Japan. Today, fences and barriers try to keep people away, but the reputation lingers. Unlike the other waterfalls on this list, the greatest danger at Kigon Falls is not the force of nature, but the human mind. At first glance, Plitvice Falls in Croatia seems like paradise. Its stunning emerald lakes and cascading waterfalls attract over 1 million tourists each year. But beneath the beauty lies a hidden danger. There are no towering cliffs here, no massive torrents of water. Instead, the danger comes from the slippery wooden walkways, the unfenced cliffs, and the tourists themselves. In 2015, a 54-year-old woman fell to her death while trying to take a photo. A year later, a 20-year-old man survived a 250-foot fall, saved only by tree branches that broke his descent. And in 2023, a 73-year-old woman died after ignoring safety warnings and stepping off the trail. The truth is, Plitvice Falls is not inherently dangerous. It is human carelessness that makes it deadly. Waterfalls are nature's wonders, but they are also unforgiving. Each of these 5 locations has claimed lives, sometimes through tragedy, sometimes through recklessness, sometimes simply because nature does not care whether you survive. If you ever visit these places, remember, respect the power of water. It is beautiful, it is awe-inspiring, but above all, it is deadly. Would you ever dare visit these waterfalls? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey into the world's most dangerous wonders, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more stories from the edge of nature's fury.